In this video, we're going to show you how to take this and turn it into this. Watch till the end and see how it all comes together. It's an in-depth, very informative video, and I am trying to give you guys as much value for your time as I can. Stick around. Alright, so we're going to start making a pedestal that's going to hold more than just a bench vise or a grinder. It's going to be a multi-tool deal, and the idea is to make sure that we can put 3 tools on there and be able to use any one of the 3 that we want with or without changing out the tool heads. So this is what we got. I went down and got some 1/4-inch plate cut out at my local steel yard. 13 round, 14 by 14, and 8 by 8, I believe. So this is going to go on this. Now I have a 3 foot by 4 foot sheet of 1/4-inch steel plate, but I wasn't able to pick it up. I tweaked my back at work, so it was easier and less expensive to just go down and get all these picked out and have them cut. So anyway, what we're going to do, the other side of this where these bolt holes are, that's 13 inches diameter. So that's what this plate is. Since this is already upside down, we're going to do this the easy way. We're going to drag this drum on top of this piece, and then we're going to take a paint pen and we're going to mark out the circles in this plate where we're going to drill our holes to put the bolts. Now we're probably not going to use every one of these holes, but figure out which ones we want. Probably that one, this one, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We don't need all of them, but just mark them out anyway, just in case I change my mind on how I want the layout. One thing to note is that these semi-brake drums, they're cast steel. I've never welded on cast steel before, and from what I understand, it's a little different. So we're not going to weld on it. We're just going to weld to the plates, and this will get bolted in, hence the marks. So, and the nice thing is this one's fairly new, and it's not all gross. Oh, super gross anyway. But Honest Peyton Speed Shop sent me a care package from a contest of Super Clean. So we're going to get this thing covered with Super Clean, let it eat the grease off of it and all the dust and what have you, and get it cleaned up and shoot it with a fresh coat of paint. And then we'll get to fabbing up these plates. We're going to put the drill press on here, vise on here, and this one's going to obviously go on this drum as a mount for that tube. Yeah, so anyway, we got this big heavy turd out of the bed of the truck, and it's go time. Honest Peyton Speed Shop, thank you. It's going to come in super handy. So we are going to hose this thing down, get all this crud off. So let's see how we do. Get that all good and soapy with the good stuff here, and we'll give it a few. And it's eco-friendly. There you go. So the problem we're going to have here is plate stops right there, the hole's here, drill's there. It's going to be the same issue on this side. So we're probably going to have to hand drill that. So, and the other thing too is we're using a 1/2 inch bit. These holes are going to stay 1/2 inch most likely, but these I think are going to be 3/8. And the reason for that is these two holes back here will only accept a 1/2 inch, 13. 13's the thread pitch anyway, but these are quite a bit larger up here, so we're going to use these bad boys and some washers, but I think we're going to have to hand drill that, which sucks because that drill bit's massive. Anyway, we'll get to working on this. Let me do some thinking on that and we'll figure it out. Alright, so the phone died when I was recording. No big deal. You guys didn't really miss anything except drilling a bunch of boring holes. So we'll show you what we got going on. So this is the base plate for the drill press. Obviously I traced the outline of the drill press so I could line it back up, you know, more as a reference point. Anyway, I had to hand drill these two holes. The two that are down here fit up in the drill press just fine. The funny part is this is the plate to mount the drill press to, but these wouldn't fit because the distance from here to here was too great, and from here to here it just couldn't get to those. I think it's funny. Anyway, so over here we have the drill press and a lot of holes drilled and a pile of shavings. So, mounting flange for the brake drum, mounting plate for the drill press. This one here, we're going to do the bench vise, but we're going to do that last because I'm almost certain I'm going to need to use this more than once during this build. So, and I need it secured to something, and right now this workbench is as good as it's going to get. So that's all good to go. I need to get the WD-4 off of there and give that thing a break. I'm sure it's hot. So that's 5/8 drill bit and a big mess. So by the way, you can get these for like $1, $1.50 at Harbor Freight. Super great for sweeping the chips off. And they're throwaways. So I'm not going to deal with sweeping that and making it a big mess. We're going to fire up the old Stanley. So we're going to get some more work done here. I got to clean up a mess and then we'll get back into it. Give me a second here. It's a pretty decent little drill bit set from 9/16 all the way up to 1 inch. Got it on Amazon. I think I paid like $35 for it. So anyway, We got the holes drilled out. Got to get some oil off it. That's where, bam, super clean comes in handy. So I actually really like this aerosol version better. Of course, I guess I'm gonna wipe off my stencil there. That's all right. Well, we made progress. We got this all welded in and painted up. I still need to paint that drum. Not worried about that. We're gonna need some more paint. But anyway, we got the main post and base welded together and painted. Once this dries, I'm gonna flip it over and paint the base. Not for any other reason than just because it's gonna be indoors, but whatever. So we're gonna get that going, wait for that to dry, then we'll bolt it down. Then we'll take this plate here and we're gonna mount that there to it. And I gotta paint those thingies right there. Got the holes drilled. So, and then we'll take the vise and mount that to that plate. Hey, good morning. It's next day. So, as you saw a little bit earlier, we got the pedestal pretty much complete. Now it's time to build the arms for it. So what we're gonna do, take you over here. What we're gonna do is, this is 18 inches long. I got my scribe line at 9 inches. Gonna cut it in half. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're gonna weld one on this side and one on this side, and it's going to come out. And then we're going to cut this. This is a 1 foot section. Scribe line's at 6 inches. So if you can imagine it, we're going to come out like that, and then this is going to sit vertical. There we go. And then the next tool is going to slide down inside there. So we're going to get out the old death wheel and cut this down. So we got our square tubing here. See how it's nice and flat? So a little trick buddy at work showed me. He's our fabricator. Learned quite a bit from him. Is take your flap disc or grinding wheel and cut a bevel. See the difference? That way, when you're taking something like this and putting it onto another flat piece, hang on, shed some light here. You have a place, a little valley there to get some welding penetration. Here's the one that's not beveled. See how it's pretty much flush? Take your beveled one, and you've got a valley to lay some weld down in. Alright guys, we got her mocked up. Our Pioneer Days tombstone is what it looks like currently. but it's mocked up. We're gonna get it tacked in, and then we'll get it fully burned in from this plate to this edge. It's 24 3/4 inches. So got it right where I want it. And then what we're gonna do, cut this in half and weld a half here vertically. So we'll get this burned in and we'll be back. All right, we're gonna get this tacked in real quick. We're using the Arc Captain Arc 165 Pro today, and they were kind enough to send us that. So we're gonna put it to good use. I actually did use it down here. So we're gonna tack this in, and then we'll see where we're at. And we're using Pinnacle Alloys 6013 3/32 rods. This is what I got on hand, so this is what we're using. And Pinnacle Alloys is not sponsoring this. They didn't send me this. They just make a really nice electrode. All right, we got it tacked all the way around. Let's take a look here. Got our tacks. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna check, make sure everything's straight again, and if not, we'll grind the tacks off and straighten her out. So, and then we'll work on burning her in. All right, a few minutes later. We got the cross posts in, and definitely not the prettiest. But the saying is, a grinder and paint makes you the welder you ain't. So, anyway, I don't care. It ain't going nowhere. That's what's important. So, now we got this mocked up. We're going to tack that up, see how it looks. If I don't like it, we'll adjust it. All right, folks, so this is where we're at. Making some good progress, and now what we're gonna have to do is, one, let that cool a little bit, and then we need to take that plate and weld it to that tube. And then I still got to figure out a pin situation. Do I want to heat this up and bend it, or just go pay, I don't know, $5-10 at O'Reilly's or whatever, and just get a standard tow hitch receiver pin, which is 5/8 if you didn't know that. So we're gonna let this cool down. I think I'm gonna go get me a cold snack, and we'll get back at it. Three and a half by 3.5 quarter wall, 14 by 14 1/4 inch plate. It's 70 18 rod, 3/32 is what we're using. I'm still learning how to round corners, but I'd say those are pretty damn good looking welds. Well, that side had a hiccup in it, no big deal. And as you can see, we got good penetration. Not too bad, not too bad. We are using the Arc Captain Arc 165 Pro. It's a sweet little machine for 165 ampere. It'll burn clear up to a 1/8 rod, but we're using 3/32. And with it being 1/4 inch down here, it is beveled, just like the top end here. So be sure to do that on some heavier gauge stuff, unless you're just using fatty rods with a lot of juice, then it don't matter. But I'm using little rods on big material, thicker material. It's not big, 1/4 inch, but anyway, it helps with the penetration. I like it. Let's give this thing a test fit in the sleeve. Well, it fits. It fits like a gem. Now, I did put a height setting in here, so I can raise it up a little bit if I need to, and it's not a big deal. I can always pull this out and drill another hole in there if I want to, but we are looking pretty good. Let me get a height measurement here and we'll see where we're at. All right, I can't do the measuring stick and hold the phone at the same time. So from here, which is ground level, once it's on the ground, all the way to this top edge is 3 feet 10 1/4 inches, which is plenty because that's what's getting mounted on there. So, and this, we're going to pull off the wood bench here and put it on that plate, but I need to set the vise on there and mark out the holes and drill the holes. And then I got 3 more of these 3.5 by 3.5 half-inch tubes. Forgive me, this inner tube that this plate's welded to is 1/4 inch thick. I forgot about that. Or sorry, 1/2 inch thick. I'm losing my mind here. This inner sleeve is 1/2 inch. So, but this is gonna work pretty good. Like I said, you can see that penetration square right there. So, we're doing all right. Anyway, we got some more work to do. Stick around. All right, so been getting some stuff dialed in here, and this is where we're at. Milwaukee Portaband, Harbor Freight bandsaw stand holder, Dumaflachi. Anyway, you can do horizontal or vertical, obviously. So what I did was I unbolted this. It's just 2 bolts on a hinge, and we're getting it mocked up. And this table comes with this stand if you don't already have one. So I think it's like $50, 40, $50 at Harbor Freight. Super easy mounting. And then these adjust your bottom end left or right. This, you have to loosen these and slide this left or right, then tighten those back up. So anyway, I am just checking my spacings out. This is pretty close, and the way this thing sits, it kind of kicks that way because the saw is kind of off. Anyway, I got this bandsaw in a trade, and it didn't come with the toe that normally bolts here, so I don't know if I'm supposed to have that to use this, but it's mounted down right there. So, and there's actually another hole right back here, so you could use this hole and that hole and slide this gap closer to that. But what I wanted is, because this from here to here is a 5-inch opening, so if I want to do a bigger piece, I think, and I don't know because I haven't done it yet, but I think that'll give me an extra bit of room to do a bigger piece, like one of those. So anyway, these are 1/2 by 13, and I think those are a 2.5 or a 3-inch. I think those are, yeah. So we'll get that mocked up, and then I'll figure out exactly where I want to mount this position wise on this, and then we'll take that and we'll drill it out. Now, on another note, I got the stand and the plate drilled, welded, and these holes are 5/16. So we're just going to use that. Now, I mean, I could have gone with bigger hardware for that little 3-inch bench vise, but I didn't want to drill the cast holes out too far and make them too thin and then have an issue with it cracking or breaking when I really gotta put the beams to it, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna go with the 5/16. That should be plenty strong. It's all grade 8, you know, nuts, washers, the bolt itself. So I feel like that's gonna be a really good deal. Now come with me. I'll show you what we're doing outside. Here is the mount for the vise. She's all painted up, drying right now. This down here and up here is dry, but I just shot this, so we're letting that dry. And Krylon, all-in-one, 5 times stronger adhesion. Seems to work out pretty good. Good thing I picked up a new can today because this one's done. But this stuff works pretty good. No peel guarantee. We will see about that guarantee, because it's going to get hot. It's going to get beat up with grinding dust, slag, sparks, what have you. So we'll get back to that one. There's the old girl right there. So because we're going from thicker material to thinner material, I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Also, we got this from where it was cut. Anyway, we're going to clean all that crap up, and then we're going to bevel the edges so you get a little bit better penetration. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Nice little bevel on there. Alright, so we're going to be using some 3/32 7018 rods from Pinnacle Alloys. Again, I bought these. They didn't send them, but I like them. Well, we got penetration on the plate, so that's great. And what I'm doing now is a second pass all the way around, because it's ½ inch. But also what I'm doing is practicing different techniques. It's my stuff. I'm building it for me, so get all the practice I can on my own things. So on this one, on these, I just kind of on this one, I went up and held it up here a little longer, then came back down. Hold down, hold down. And on this one here, I just did half moons or a circle and walk it forward, back into the puddle, walk it forward, back into the puddle, walk it forward. I'm trying to find what's comfortable for me and what I feel works the best for me. Well, this turned out pretty good. Going around the corner, different story. Alright, so I think we're done with our hopefully final mock-up. We got it all taken apart now. Well, the top, I'll show you. So, drill press is off, bandsaw is off. I'm going to take these out of the stand and get them painted. Also, I chamfered all of my holes. And I do that on top and bottom, more so to deburr the hole. But one thing I still got to do with these two is take these sharp edges off. And I'm just going to do, you can do that with a grindstone or a flap disc. I've learned the hard way about splitting my head open or what have you on a sharp corner. So this one's already done. And I just use a 40 grit zirconia flap disc. I get these from Easarc on Amazon. I want to say they're like 10 or 20 bucks. I can't remember. But these things work great. And I like how they have kind of a convex side to them, plus a good edge. So like if you're grinding in a corner, those really get in there and they'll really hog the crap out. So they work real good. Anyway, so we're gonna pop these plates out and I'm gonna grind these corners off, and then we're gonna go set up the old paint booth, aka a trash can and a sheet of plywood. It's real handy. So this is where we're at. Let me get this situated, and then we got a little more finishing work to do, and we'll be ready for the grande reveal, excuse me. Welcome to the paint booth. This thing's state of the art, high tech, best money can buy. So anyway, we got the bottom sides of these done. There's some runs in it. That's all right. This is gonna slide in and out of another tube anyway, so it's gonna scuff off. But other than that, these things are looking pretty good. So yeah, this thing turned out fantastic. Fantastic. So we got it all fabbed up, welded, painted. My tray's crooked. There we go. But we got our Milwaukee Portaband and our Harbor Freight Hercules cradle secured. We got the old school Chicago power tool, Chicago Electric, old school Harbor Freight. Back when they made good stuff in Taiwan. So that's all bolted. These are 5/8 bolts. These are half 13s back here. Anyway, got the vise down. Got bolted. It's a 3-inch Harbor Freight vise. But yeah. So I'm really pleased with this thing. Like really, really pleased. Now I'm just going to dig out a hole and put it in a corner where it's out of the way, but still very usable. So thanks for watching, guys. This is Midnight Customs. Thanks for tagging along. And if you've watched it this far, hit that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, and we'll see you on the next one.